Pope Benedict's historic trip to the U.S. marks the first papal visit since the clergy sex abuse scandal rocked this country. While flying to America yesterday, the pontiff addressed questions head-on, saying such child abusers have no place in the Catholic Church.
We are deeply ashamed, and we will do all the possible that this cannot happen in future. And we will absolutely exclude pedophiles from the sacred ministry.
But for thousands of Catholics, the crackdown comes decades too late. I spoke with one local man who says that his life was forever changed by a clergyman and teacher that he trusted right here in Westchester. For American Catholics, it was a test of faith like no other. Priests accused of the most unholy acts against young children. In 2002, the scandal broke wide open, with case after case making headlines. In Westchester alone, 13 Catholic priests were removed from ministry. Nationwide, since 1950, nearly 14,000 molestation claims have been filed against Catholic clergy. This man, like so many others, lived most of his life with an awful secret.
I didn't do anything to deserve it, and it shouldn't have happened, but it did.
The it happened at Iona Grammar School in New Rochelle when this now 71-year-old man from Scarsdale was just 9 years old. The school was run by the Irish Christian Brothers.
Corporal punishment was a big part of the educational experience for them, where they would hit you, beat you, do whatever they wanted to do.
Protecting his identity, we'll call him Bill. He says it all started when a 19-year-old brother at the school took him into a private room to punish him for misbehaving in class.
And he was spanking me, and he put a handkerchief in my mouth to stifle my cries.
What happened next changed Bill's life forever.
I was crying so hard, he stopped, and he thought maybe he had injured me or something, and he took me put me on his lap. I still had my pants down, and he began to fondle my genitals.
Bill says it happened 4 times when he was in the 4th grade. Bill says the abuse happened back in 1945 when Iona Grammar School was housed here on the grounds of what's now Iona College. It would be decades later before he told his mother or confronted the school about what had happened.
You just don't believe it's happening, and you're terrified. There's no one you can say anything to.
So many stories just like Bill's put a mark on the Catholic Church that cannot be erased. Now, with the first papal visit since the clergy abuse scandal, people are asking how Pope Benedict will address it.
The Pope needs to do a bit of mea culpa on this, a bit of apologizing for this, a bit of reassurance that he's keeping an eye on this issue here in this country and elsewhere.
Kenneth Woodward was the religion editor at Newsweek magazine for nearly 40 years. He says the worst part of the scandal was the way abusive priests were knowingly moved from parish to parish, leading to more abuse of young children.
To be fair, the numbers are small. 4% of the priests since 1950.
Such abuse is not exclusive to the Catholic Church, and despite the initial shock, Woodward says Catholics stood by their parishes. Even Bill remains a devout Catholic, meeting us in Central Park to tell his story after attending Mass at St. Patrick's Cathedral.
It doesn't diminish my belief, or it only increases my faith more.
Now, while the Pope is expected to speak more about the scandal, word is he will not meet with abuse victims. Now, Bill's abuser died back in 1996, and while Bill is certain that there were other victims, the Christian Brothers who run Iona Grammar School tell me that they have no other complaints on record. More news for you in 2 minutes. First, though, here's a look at how the day ended in Wall Street.